Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be altering this beautiful red dress. I found this dress in my closet and figured I'd wear it for a Valentine's Day date night. The dress is a little big for me, as you can see, but we are going to take care of that right now. I found this dress on Pretty Little Thing. I will link it in the description box below since, yay, I left a tag on it, so I'll be able to find it. I had already lined this dress to the point where I want to alter it, but I had another section that I didn't line and I wasn't recording the first half, so I figured I'd record the second half. I knew how much I wanted to take off the sides and the boning in the back, so it's about a 1/2 inch to an inch that I'll be taking off. The dress is a size 10, but I lost about 15 pounds since buying this dress, and so I've effectively gone down to a size 6 to 8, I believe. So I figured I'd take an inch off both sides, or a 1/2 inch to an inch off both sides, so that it'll fit a little bit more snug. Also, I'm totally measuring this by just my own pulling of the dress on my body. I did not use a measuring tape. I'm not a seamstress. I'm just someone who loves sewing, the idea of sewing and all that stuff, and I like being able to alter my own clothes, but I'm not a seamstress. I'm not professional by any means. I just do what works for me with the sewing machine that I have. In any case, I want to take lessons on how to deconstruct something and then structure it all over again to resize. For now, we'll just be taking shortcuts. So let's get to the machine. So here I found red thread and I will be weaving my bobbin in my sewing machine. FYI, this is the Brother CS6000i. This is a computerized sewing machine. I got this machine over 10 years ago and it still works beautifully. I haven't used it a ridiculous amount as I should have, but now I've done so many projects on it. All right, so now we're going to be feeding our dress through underneath the footer here, the presser footer. And we are also going to be using a guide. This is a magnetic guide that goes on your built-in measure underneath the presser footer. It allows you to keep your fabric straight so you get consistent straight lines. There are a bunch of these on the market. There are different ones. There are ones that have clips that clips the fabric into place so that you don't have to really push the fabric. Or there's this one that allows you to just keep your fabric close to the point that you want it to be. I use this one because it's a little bit easier for me. So the first thing we're gonna do here is to do a few back stitches. Because this part of the dress was initially angled in like a slight V-shaped pattern, we want to guide our dress downwards in the back stitch and then continue forward, because otherwise we would not have gotten it angled on the machine initially to get that V shape in. So I'm using the setting 01, which is a middle needle stitch that just aligns the needle to the measuring point that you want it to be. There's 00, which goes further to the left, while 01 goes further to the right. So I wanted to keep the stitch as close to the initial stitch you see here as possible, because I only want a 1/2 inch to 1 inch off of the dress on one side, and then of course 1/2 inch to 1 inch off the other side. So we're just going to keep feeding this through. Go as slow as you need. I initially started off super slowly just to get the hang of it, make sure I have my dress aligned to where I need it to be before I started to get a little bit more speed on my machine there. Now, I stopped stitching very close to the top because the top part has a plastic trim around it. The trim is designed to keep the dress on you and from slipping. So I didn't stitch it because my machine does not handle thick materials very well, and I did not want to compromise my machine by trying to force a stitch in that. So I kept it as is, and I really didn't have a problem with the way how the dress fit around my chest area, so I just didn't stitch that part. So here's the stitch. You might get some ruffles on it, but that just means you need to pull on the thread to make it a little bit straighter. It worked out well for me. So if there's any tips anyone could give me on how to not have that happen, that would be great. But it has happened on a lot of my products before. I just kind of pull the fabric a little bit and it straightens itself out, but it looks great. I love how the seam came out in the back. All right, now we are going to stitch down the other side of the dress, that 1/2 inch to an inch, so that we can now safely say that both sides have been stitched down to get 1 inch or 2 inches off this dress. Again, this is a resizing from a size 10. All right, and there we have it. We have now taken off a 1/2 inch to an inch off both sides of the back portion of this dress. The dress should have a stitching that looks like this on the back side because we did stitch the inside. It's so seamless on the back. I love it. And this is what the dress looks like on me. It's now a lot tighter. I love how the stitching came out on the outside, so it definitely doesn't look bunched up on me at all. And we did not have to deconstruct the dress in order to do this. It was literally just to line it up and stitch it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.